Hi everyone, this is Lisa Marie from Artistry by Lisa Marie. Welcome to the studio. Links to each of these videos is in the video description. Today is a countdown of the top 10 videos from my channel this year. Number 10 is the Baby Christmas Goat. These colors were actually inspired by Michelangelo's Sistine Chapel, so very bright, very vibrant. Here I used colored pencils and Jelly Roll gel pens. So first I start with the colored pencils, get those nice vibrant blues and oranges and purples and greens, very Sistine Chapel colors, and then anchor it with the warm, soft, browns of the goat fur. I love that goat face. This was a really fun tutorial to do. I loved using some sparkly Jelly Roll pens at the end to get a little bit of shine, a little bit of shimmer. There, see the little bit of shine around those leaves. It was such a fun video to do. Next up is number 9. This wasn't a coloring, this was a drawing video. This was a new coloring page that I was working on at the time, part of a series called Mother's Message in a Bottle, inspired by love letters put in bottles. This particular page was part of that series and also available as an individual page people could download in color. And it was just a really fun opportunity to show everyone, how I color or draw glass. Get the pencil started, then do some smudging for blending, and then I go in with a very fine eraser. And that's how I get those crisp white lines in the glass itself and create a bit more of a shiny glass effect. So this wasn't a coloring one, this was a drawing video, and it was super popular. Next up, number 8. Also part of the Mother's Message in a Bottle series, but this was a coloring video, so not a drawing video. And here I used colored pencils to do very subtle, gentle washes of color or gentle coloring with the pencils themselves. I thought this was a very gentle image with the two giraffes, the mom and the baby, so I wanted the colors to also be very gentle when I colored it in. So very smooth transitions of colors between the blues and the warm browns. Also, if you look at the spots of the giraffes, very warm and gentle transitions between the brown spots, getting a little color variety. I liked the gentleness of this one, obviously. All right, next was number 7. Pan Pastels, colored pencils, and markers. This was a mixed media moment for me. I colored the clouds with pastels, the wreath was markers and pencils, and the dove was markers and pencils. I also, on the dove, I used a white paint marker. So here with the wreath, I've already put down the markers. You can see I'm doing some colored pencils over top, getting those nice rich colors in. And I love that ribbon. That ribbon was so fun to draw and really fun to color too. And so finishing up with that and then just going into the dove with my pencils, getting some gentle light bits of color in there. A lot of white pencil in that dove. I really wanted it very smooth and very, very light. And then there's that white marker, so I could show how to get really bright white highlights in a white bird. Number 6, this was a 1-hour color and chat, so it was a big commitment. I colored with pastels and pencils, and the colors in this image were inspired by Impressionist artists. This was part of my coloring page series called Cuddles and Hearts. So I did a whole bunch of coloring pages that have different types of hearts in them. But this particular color and chat video, I talk about the history of Impressionist artists and about the colors that they use and their techniques. So just something different to inspire anyone who wants to do something or try something a little different with a different technique or a different approach to color. And I like that background. I really liked using the yellow in that background, so I was having a lot of fun. Number 5, how to color realistic fur. This was a tutorial. So I started with my grayscale coloring page of this cat, and then I used colored pencils to show how I color fur with layers of colors. So I start off in this video talking about, you start with grayscale with a dark, medium, and light color, dark, medium, and light browns, for example. And then how to expand your palette to get a little more color variety. And also how to lay down the colors to block out the shadows, maintain the highlights, how to apply the color so you don't lose that nice texture and flow in the fur. This was a really fun tutorial to do. It was super popular. I think a lot of people really like seeing a different way to color in fur, especially grayscale fur. Next up, number 4, realistic skin tone. I had such a blast coloring this one. I used markers and then pencils. So Ohuhu markers and Prismacolor pencils. First I put down the markers, then I put the pencils on top. So I have my skin tone, you can see here, already done. And I also, went into coloring the lips and the eyes with really sharp pencils so you can get some good precision and detail work. The marker is already laid down in the hair, but I'm about to go over that with pencils too. So it is a tutorial on realistic skin, but I also go into, lips, eyes, and hair. This was another one of my, I use all of my own coloring pages because I know I can use them. I know those images very well. I'm very comfortable with them. All right, number 3 is coming up, and this was a long one. This was a 2-hour color and chat video. So I actually have 2 videos of me, the first part and the second part of me coloring in this Christmas bunny, and they're both 2 hours long. So it's actually 4 hours of me drawing and talking, but one of those 2-hour sections was super popular this year. And I used colored pencils throughout the whole thing. So this is just pure, colored pencil coloring. And I challenged myself a bit. I have my mulberry pink pencil that I used in the ribbon and in the berries. I don't use that color very often. So that was my challenge, to use a color I don't use that frequently, which for me is mulberry pink. And here you can just see I'm doing some final touches on the bunny. And I love that white marker for highlights, obviously. But yeah, this was a popular one. Number 2, how to color grayscale fur and eye. This was part of a series I did over the summer where I challenged myself to color a whole page of cat eyes. It was intense. I don't know if I'll ever color that many cat eyes ever again. But this particular video, I go in depth, I slow down a bit, and I really talk about flow of the fur, blocking out shadows, getting in highlights and texture. And then I'm using pastels and colored pencils in this one to talk about how to develop colors and how to really get some nice effects in a cat eye, and in how to talk about, the iris and the coloring and getting a little bit of shine in the eye. It was a fun tutorial to do. Use a little bit of white gel pen there. Number 1, the most popular video in my channel of the year, also from Mother's Message in a Bottle series. This one I used markers and pencils to get gentle washes of color. Also got some nice realistic texture and shadows in that cork up top. I loved coloring this one, and I think a lot of people really enjoyed watching and listening to me color this one. Loved the glass this year. I was really into coloring glass this year. There's my white Flymax marker to get those white highlights at the very end. Obviously, that is something I really like to do when I color, especially with glass. And this mom and baby turtle were just super adorable, and I loved doing this. And that's it. Those are the top 10 videos from my channel of this year. Thank you guys so much for making this a fantastic year on my YouTube channel. Remember to subscribe to my channel so you don't miss the next videos, and stay creative. Bye.